over now. Don't say things are better now. I will give you
You're in
everything
tune to
you
the
need.
Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean. You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Yes, you're in.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on the Powerhouse radio station are those of the host, guests, and callers, are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
Greetings. How are you all doing? Hoping that you're having a fantabulous Thursday. Hope you had an even fantabulous week, right? Yes, is my hope. That is our hope for each and every one of you that that you having a wonderful week and so on. Yes. Well, you are in tune right here to Reasoning Thursdays each and every Thursday as we kick it off. Um, right here on DA Powerhouse, the Powerhouse Radio.com. Also on our telephone lines, you can listen live. If you don't have internet, at 667-930-9036. You can also listen to us via Facebook, YouTube, TuneIn app, all of those for Reasoning Thursdays. So I'm hoping that you join us and share the link and tell a friend and a friend and a family member that we are here reasoning on the hottest topic. Okay. So definitely spread the word. Spread the word and tell a friend and a friend and the family member. I also want to say massive big shouts go out to YouTube's radio. DJ VJ Smile Ross Dougal. Blessings to you. Thank you. Streaming us live each and every Thursdays right here. And so tell a friend and a friend and a family member. All right. So all of the listeners over there at YouTube's radio, we thank you for joining us. Okay. And we ask you to go on and share YouTube's radio information to your friends and family and colleagues as well. Big shouts to the Victorious 89.1 FM Massive and Crew as well. And we thank you all for keeping it locked as well. And to definitely tell you all to go on and share to your colleagues and friends, etc. Alrighty. So we are here, and there are some hot reasons. Kind of have an open floor tonight. We're kind of having an open floor tonight. So I have our panel say hello to each and every one, and then we're gonna dive in. We're gonna dive in. Want to say big shouts to all of our sponsors. One by One Kia, Hinkson Firm, Awesome Renovation, Unique, Total Care, Botastic, Advance, Construction, all around that advanced. You want to say big shouts to you. Um, they've just acquired their sixth state. So we just want to say big shouts to you, doing stuff, big things. And thanks for sponsoring us over here as well. Mystique Enterprise, Unique Total Care. They're looking a 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Shift person. So give them a call, 470-301-2552. All right, and let them know that Lady D definitely sent you. So, hey, how are you all doing? Panel, the respect of what a one.
Look like you have a new female on the panel, man. Lady in red.
Ay, Lord have mercy.
That's Noni's sister.
That's Noni sister. He is a mess. He is a mess. Jai, what's going on with you?
Happy Thursday.
Jai, what's going on with you?
Happy Thursday, everybody.
All right,
Happy Thursday.
Same to you.
all right, all right. Noni, what's up with you?
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. I wasn't here last week, so I look forward to a great show tonight.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody, for listening in.
You got a feedback coming from behind you there, Noni. Noni. All right,
Okay, I'll work on that.
all right. Queen, greetings to you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so ecstatic. I had me a wonderful evening with my grandchildren. We went to the movies.
All
I
right.
haven't been to the movies in about 8 years or so. I tell you, Minion. Can you imagine those little yellow looking thing running around? It made me laugh though.
Okay, that is exciting.
Yeah, it made me laugh. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome to Reasoning Thursday. Remember, share, and press that like button.
Oh man. Well, I'm exhausted tonight, and so we're just free flowing. There's just three things that came up at the last minute. Well, kind of sort of four. There's one that I saw that Jai had put in the chat. Are you all hearing me really good, or am I low? Y'all are hearing me better now?
Yeah.
We hearing
Yes,
you.
we can hear you.
Alrighty, good, good. Okay, one of the topics that I just want to, I'm going to play clips on each one of these is Nolan Wells. For those, I'm not sure if those are, if you all on the panel are really aware of the Nolan Wells situation, where um, the only black gentleman to leave with four white guys, and they came back with only his cell phone and don't know where he's at, what is what. I mean, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Also, there's a George Johnson that went to a music festival as well, and they found him hanging. He was went to a music festival for a couple of days, and they found him hanging, and no one can tell anything, tell him and tell speak about it. I want to say big. I mean, this lady here, she is just. I mean, I think women should just run the world. I know. I'm waiting for VJ Smiles to come hit me up and be like, "Oh, please," you know. But women should run the world.
On
Mia
Me,
a
Motley.
real, on a real note.
Mia Motley, she is just direct and just so friggin' awesome. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This lady here is so awesome. And Jai posted in the chat that they have one they have kind of sort of secured some money to start the offshore digging on the south side, United Oil and Gas. They secured about 500,000 English pounds. Um, so we could touch that a little bit for some offshore oil exploration. So it looks as if they're going to be starting to start that drilling sooner than later. And
And just a side note to be clear, that's not to the country. Those are private owners and they're giving them access to do that. That's the funding for it to be done. So let's just be clear.
Yeah, yeah. So do we want to hit it off with that, or do we want to go into one of the others? Where did we want? And if you all, I'm not sure. Queen, did you have something
I'm
on?
actually trying to figure out if the father ever.
Uh,
Well, there's a couple of things going on in Parliament. I think I sent you like three clips of it
okay,
of um right now, really and truly, there is so much um crookery going on. I hate to say that word,
I mean
but
there's
it
been crookery going on.
yeah, but it's like they're pointing now. You're actually knowing in some of the individuals that are stealing the money and some of the fundings and what have you.
Okay,
It's now being exposed. Um, I think there's a clip that I had that I think I don't remember if I wrote on there that you should play it.
I didn't even see that.
What the prime minister, what he was saying, how derogative he was in parliament when he was talking to the representative of I think it's St. Hans.
Okay,
But he's just rude and disrespectful, and I mean, you know, it's terrible what's going on in parliament right about now. It's like there's no respect in there, and it's being broadcast all over the world, so people are seeing how illiterate and terrible these people are.
yeah.
So I sent you the clip because I wanted you to hear what he was saying, or
No,
folks to hear what he was saying.
I don't see it. I haven't seen it.
The
So,
prime minister,
yeah, no. I mean the
the
one you sent, or
parliament, yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure where you sent it because
Yeah, I forgot the young lady name, but he was very rude
I'm thinking
towards.
that the rudeness is really getting very, very out of hand in
Oh,
part.
to hand, that's what I'm saying, and the world is seeing that in parliament. These are people
Well, you
supposed
know
to be
what? I'm
professional.
not even. I'm not even so much concerned. I didn't mean to cut you, but I'm not even so much concerned about the world and what they see, because they're in so many other countries, their parliament exhibits the same type of behavior. So, and they have broadcasted how a lot of those other places looks. What I'm more concerned with is the issues that are being discussed that that are not being able to be discussed because of the blatant disrespect on even both ends, if you want.
Yeah,
I'm
and the yelling and
yeah,
yeah.
and and the and the bold-faced lies that are being
hmm
told, untruth, let's say
Yeah,
untruths that are being told, and the country itself can't get any straight answers, and
yeah.
it's just nothing but bickering going back.
Back and forth, back and forth.
So I,
Both parties.
I don't even care about I what I care about also is the way that everyone seems to want to sit there and to um, scold another individual in parliament instead of dealing with the issues at hand. In for instance, so many of them want to scold Burchell instead of dealing with what the issues are. Even what's her name? Oh my God, off of my head, on my head. Um, she just needs to sitting there talking about the new breeds and all of this stuff. I'm just like, let's get to the matter at hand. What is going on in
Too
Jamaica?
much of a distraction.
Yeah, it's too much distractions going.
Yeah,
Let's get to what's going on. The what should be tabled. Let's table it. Since it's not, let's get what needs to be tabled. Let's talk about the people of Jamaica. Let's talk about the economy. Let's talk about all of those things. Those are what I would love to hear, and not all of the other personal feelings about
Mhm.
another individual. For it's just beyond me. It's just beyond me. And
And part of it is also stemmed towards those folks that are being sent to Jamaica, because and that's why even some of the demonstration that is going on because they are not confident in the government statement where they're saying that these people are working people and what have you. Why are they coming to the country? If they're working people, um, they can't understand. So that's why demonstrating, and that's why you're having so much conflict right now in Congress because there are some people that goes for it and some that don't. I think even some of the laborite members, some of them is still questioning it. You know, so um um they're not sure. They're not sure what to expect and what to believe.
yeah, you. I mean, I'm just waiting to see everything that takes place, even in regards to the TCN situation with the individuals that's supposed to come into Jamaica, because I don't know what my biggest thing is. I don't understand how you can sign something and you don't have finalization and you don't have an understanding.
Yes,
It's,
are they?
uh,
Hmm.
so I don't. Those are things that I just don't understand. How can you sign documents for something that you don't know what you're signing? We have not finished panning out. So how is something signed and you have not finished panning out the specifics
Yeah. And
of?
and it's just
Eh,
some individual lady that knows about it. There are individual that didn't really know about it. They didn't bring it in front of Parliament and discuss it and then voted on it. That's not how it was done. It's like a small group of individuals decided that okay, we're gonna sign these papers because of whatever gain they're gonna get from it. You know.
We definitely know
Mhm.
that.
The
And
bottom line,
yeah, go ahead there, Spectre.
the bottom line is we can talk till we turn blue. The problem is always going to be we the people. Government do not care what we think. Only thing they care about if we come together as a group of people and attack them. That's the only thing they're on guard about and trying to prevent. Government, church, the groups that rakes in money from we the people and live the lavish life, doing and saying whatever they want to. And then you have the natives, who's all about the natives, while we go through what we go through. And then you have the Maroons throughout this world, who are all about the Maroons. If you noticed, these other groups are not coming to anybody's defense but their own. They staying silent in protecting their own. Nothing is going to change with Jamaican government or any other country in Africa government or throughout this world or America if our black leaders do not do what the white leaders are doing. There's a percentage of white people who are ready to move at any given point on order. They already started. And I am sick and tired after watching what I watched today to learn of the brutality towards innocent black men and women and boys and girls and babies during slavery.
Oh, yeah.
Our grown man and woman teeth was pulled out, not just one, but all of them were pulled out to put into a white person's mouth. And how sons were forced to have sex with their mother. All the disgusting behavior throughout our ancestors' history. And we are living in all these countries that black people are in, and our Jamaica that's supposed to know better and still don't know better at this point because they're still telling you to go and ask your mother. 90% of behaviors is with anger and arrogance, cussing at each other instead of taking that energy and go confront government. So black people throughout this world are timid, afraid to do what is being done to us. White people don't fear us, but we constantly fearing them. And every time I tell somebody that it's because of the crucifixion, they look at me like I'm crazy. Jesus Christ came about and on the cross and on the right and left of him is a black man. That means the design was to protect the white man, no matter what. Black people is not supposed to hurt white people. And those are facts. If you look back in history, there's no mass murdering of black people to white people or everyday killing of white people by black people. These white folks came and do what they're doing, what they did and still doing because we are allowing them to do it.
Well, you know, it kind of stray, but we when you say um allow, there's not any unity in there's not the unity that it needs to be, rather, in with black folks, in order for there to be a somewhat of a change. And yes, big shouts to you, Let's Gripe. Good evening to Powerhouse Radio. And Let's Gripe says taking deportees from other countries and Jamaican deportees getting deported to other countries. Yeah, that's what we were directing to. Is the same. I just don't understand the whole thing, and I'm not dismissing what you said, the respecter, but it all comes down to, if there's no respect for ourselves and no unity amongst ourselves,
Mhm.
um, they said together we stand, divided we fall, and at this time, um, black people are divided. So therefore, how can we talk about standing up and what we're allowing to be done and what not allowing to be done when there's no unity, there's no formation where we all are under one accord and one understanding. And if you do look back in the days, those are some of the things that allowed for a lot of change, because there were unity. People, if they say let's walk, people walked.
Mhm.
Not some walk and some didn't. There was unity in everything that was being done back then in order for there to be a change. Now, it takes unity in whatever country that we are talking about. Maybe Jamaica, America, Africa, wherever. The people have to stand, melanated skinned people have to stand unified. Because if they're not unified, they're easy to be
There's
divided.
not gonna be there's
One
not gonna be any unification.
come one person can come and no, I totally, at this point, I don't see the unification, because it's been being spoken of for so long, and everyone is waiting for this magical new leader to come about, to try to
Yeah.
get the masses together. The leaders of back then, such as Marcus Garvey, such as Malcolm X, such as Martin Luther King. So they're looking for the shepherds with the leader,
Mhm.
individuals such as Andrew Jackson and Hosea Williams and Jesse
Those
Jackson,
leaders,
and all of those people who profess to have been leaders and profess to have been followers of
we
those leaders.
we need a leader
But
like Shaka
but
Zulu.
lady, the
We
leaders
need a leader
are
like Shaka
out
Zulu.
there, but they're out there in a different capacity. Crockett, she's a good leader, and if people listen to her, I mean, she's doing a lot verbally on television and any media outlet she can find. She's putting it out there.
It's
So
not gonna
maybe
take one person, Queen.
she's not marching, but she is speaking, and she's
I,
speaking to the
It's
masses,
gonna take more than one person.
So
Yeah, but there are a couple of them out there.
It's,
We just,
don't take more than a couple. You need
Well,
a whole damn
it's a
party in each
start
state.
though. But it's a start.
You need a whole
I
party.
so my perspective on it is this. I agree with Lady D. The problem is unity. But I also agree with unity because people are being selfish. And sometimes when you're selfish, you have selfish views. And then when you have selfish views, you become stubborn. Okay. Some
Mhm.
people see things one way, some people see things another way. At some and I think some people views may be skewed because you may be forgetful or you some people may feel like let that go. That happened 400 years ago. There are people in this world that feel that way. Um even classism plays a role in it. You're beneath me. Why should I care?
Mhm.
um or they look at other countries. This is a third world country, you're dirty. It's I feel like it's goes right back to what Lady D said. It's a matter of unity. You can have all the leaders in the world, but there's a million perspectives happening at the same time under selfishness. You're
Mhm.
looking at personal gain instead of unity gain, and as a community gaining, and moving forward. You're just trying to figure out how can you keep your head afloat, in the bucket of crabs, you know.
It,
So that's the big issue to me. I
Yeah,
don't really
that's
see nothing
it's
wrong
the
with
Black
opinion and
Mhm.
Caucus.
perspective. I mean, but
Mhm.
if you're going to really look at it as well, that was the whole point in the beginning. That was
Mhm.
the whole point. We're just
And
kind of
that's
walking
why I
and
said
living proof.
supporting. You
Hold
know,
on. We're
we're
just
not.
walking and living proof of what they instilled in us as well. Again, personal gain and your own perspective may have you a little further back than, let's say, me, who's willing to, if I had to watch the community gain. I'll sacrifice certain things, but not everybody's there yet. But again, that was the agenda.
The people who we
And
voted
the
for and
last
put
thing
in
I wanted to say
office.
was I'm not going to say that I don't agree that some people aren't scared of the white community or their white power. What I will say is they're there because they're scared of us. So
Who,
I feel like people need to remember that the reason why things went the way they went, how they happened, all is one, they looked at us less than and that we're not human. And two, now that laws have been in place, let's just say the United States in particular, to maybe we may not be where they are, but we have progressed from slavery. You're afraid that what happened to us is going to happen to you.
we
Mhm.
have the
So if
Black
you're always
Caucus. We
scared
have
of
the
something, what are you going to do? You're
NAACP.
going to
We have
continue to
all,
try to degrade, belittle, and hold that person back, right?
we have the Black Caucus. We have the NAACP. We have all these black groups that's supposed to be on the front line. We have the senators and the congressmen and women. We have all these
But are
politicians
people
that are supposed to be
supporting
Also
there
them?
on
have
our
millions of people with
request.
different
And
perspective and
Support them.
self-gain goals.
that's it. That's it. And it's still you have all
So again, unity. If
you
Yeah.
you can have 50 million Martin Luther Kings with no
Mm-hmm.
unity, that march is pointless.
it's pointless. Oh,
So I really don't understand the demand for more people to scream the same thing that 50,000 people are already screaming if the majority is still on personal gain. Unity is the only way you get them to listen to the mass that is screaming the same thing.
yeah.
hey, Jai,
Mm-hmm.
Jai, remember Unity was way back there with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and John Lewis and all the first set of people who stand up and gave their lives. They were there with unity. No unity is better than that.
Well,
We were supposed to learn from those unity from way back then.
that is
But
exactly
now,
where I'm coming
our
from.
That's the
leaders are
point that
not
I'm making,
leading.
though. But
That,
that's the
They're
that's
not
we're saying the
leading.
same thing, though, Respecta. We're
The
saying
leaders
the
are not
exact same
leading.
thing.
that's the point. And they're not leading because everyone is looking for the leader. How can there's no one there that is leading? You have these
Here's
organizations,
here's a here's a
you have
here's
these
a young here's a
organizations,
young guy. Here's hold up.
pastors, you have all of these things that are
Here's what
not.
you guys are not looking at. You guys are not looking at what y'all say over and over and over. We gotta get out and vote in the midterm. We gotta get out and vote. What else can we the people do besides go out and vote and put these jackasses in power? We are
What,
doing our part. We are voting and putting them in place.
so what
But voting is not the only thing that's going to get you your goal. You have boycotts. If everybody hate us so bad, we're still at nail salons. There was supposed to be a boycott on Asian businesses due to that young man in South Carolina being murdered and shot in the back. People are still getting their eyebrows waxed. Again, it goes back to unity. There's a lot of ways to put something in a chokehold. We are the leading spenders. And what do we keep doing? Spending.
Bending.
If everybody agrees to stop spending in particular areas, maybe you'll see a different impact. Money talk.
And that's
Money talk.
with unity. That's where it comes with unity. We're not unified because
We'll never be.
this is one is being like, hey, I'm gonna go and I gotta
Don't say never. Don't say never. You
We will
never know.
never be
You don't know
unified.
what the future will bring.
We will
Just
never be
just because it
unified.
doesn't look like, just because it may not be happening now and it may not look like when Martin Luther King was around, doesn't mean that it can't happen. This is a new age, new generation, and a brand new journey.
And they do things differently.
We
That's what I was
hate
saying when I started out talking. You
we
know,
hate each other more than we hate anybody else. We are quicker to jump down each other's throat than we are at somebody else, and that's the
okay.
fact.
Okay, well, we know all of those, and we've covered the same things over and over, and we reason on um that same thought over and over, about unity, about coming together, about being strong, about who take out who, about who is doing their military training and who is not doing military training, who gets how many acres of land. I mean, we've been through this same scenario over and over
Right.
and over. So
different.
it makes no sense to me for the outrage right now, because this panel have discussed that. So this outrage every time, it's pointless and it doesn't go anywhere. And your stance remains the same, the respecter. We're not gonna come together.
Because
So
you've been saying that, true. Yeah.
I don't even understand why this particular discussion is going on, because the bottom line is it's always the same. You and Don Minot catch up all the time over the same stance on not coming together, and we're never coming together. So one day, hopefully, we will have this perfect right person that is going to stand up and unify the masses of melanated skinned people. And maybe something one day would be done, such as stopping four white for Caucasian individuals from allegedly or possibly had murdered an individual and bring his phone and give it to his mom, such as another individual, which that was Alan, that was Nolan Wells, and another individual, George Jackson, that was found hung in somewhat of their saying alleged white area as well. So I mean, like, once we one day do become um unified, and I would never ever use the word never, even with myself, I would never ever use
Get
the
tired.
word, but you never know what the circumstances, and one day all we can do is pray that one day, and believe,
It
because
will change. Yeah,
faith as small as a mustard
they
seed
come together. Yeah.
make something manifest, and maybe one day it can happen. So let's
Mhm.
stop putting those type of energy into universe that it can never, and we will never, because never is a long time, never is never ending. So we don't know what the future holds, and the position that we will or can be placed in, that our attitudes and our actions will have to change, because I think that was the same scenario back then, that they will never come together. And then when they did come together, changes were made. So
Yep.
Mhm.
hopefully one day um, we will see the need that unity is the key. Unity is the
Yeah.
only way for a
To,
change. May
And
it
and
it didn't take one day for slavery to end. It took years, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So, just keep that. We just keep,
It's
yeah.
piggyback off of what Queen said earlier. Sorry, I was trying to, and I know we were talking about this earlier. I know that you said you were happy to see the people, and you think it's mainly because of the the issues with the deportee thing that they have going on in Jamaica. I really feel like and this, I feel like it's a little bit deeper than that. I just feel like some people out there are finally opening their eyes to the fact that they are misinformed, one, and two, they're
Yes.
informed late of certain things.
Yes.
And quite a few of them are getting sick of that. But I
Mm-hmm.
also can see and understand, and I am annoyed as well with the banter in Parliament as well, because it's just a big distraction to all of the things that they have going and coming to the country. You know, there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot that's coming towards them.
Yes.
And so if something this big, I feel like it's, they feel misinformed, kind of played in a sense, but then it sucks to see kind of politics roll into that as well. Like, oh, you're orange and you're green, you know,
Yeah.
when it's impactful for everybody. So I love the fact that I did see some people opening their eyes to at least the fact that, like, y'all
Yes,
aren't even
and they're
talking to us.
demonstrating too, Jai. I see a lot of demonstration going on in Jamaica lately. And I mean not no with no 10 or 5 people. I see large demonstrations going on, especially with this situation with these folks coming to Jamaica. I see a lot of
Oh,
demonstrations
and even with
geared
the
towards it.
situation with as Tonya had asked, Let's Gripe had asked if taking deportees from other country in Jamaica, deportees getting deported. I don't understand the complication in the whole matter for people with common sense to understand. And I hear a lot of chatter on it, but I'm not, and that is, to me, that is basically what is being done, a lot of chatter and not
Yeah.
understanding and listening to what is being said, and how many times what is being said has been flip flopped, you know,
Right.
from individuals coming. One person has told you exactly what they're doing. They're sending the most despicable persons to all of the third world, period. All of the other stuff is, to, for me, it's all total camouflage. um
Mhm.
Chang said, oh, if they want to seek citizen residency, then they have to apply. Then here comes the our prime minister says, oh well, no one is going to stay. It's too many, it's too much flip-flopping and different answers. They don't
Mhm.
even know the answers. So let's
Yeah.
just say,
Because
as
it went from, sorry to cut you, but I said it went from, oh, they'll have 2 weeks to now nobody's going to stay.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that they can seek permanency. And we're not accepting anyone with any criminal background.
My
But
God.
yet you specifically says you all have not finished the deal, but you signed something that you all have not finished. And persons don't seem to be grasping that. And I don't understand, what can't you understand? Why? I mean, it the words are there, just decipher it for yourself. If someone says, I signed a contract and don't know what the heck that I signed, then that's a red flag. You
Yeah.
cannot sign a contract and the contract has not been completed. It makes no sense.
I said it before. They are bad at business.
I mean, yeah, I mean, how, oh, we didn't finish all of the negotiations and putting everything. So why did you sign?
Mhm.
Once your signature is on something, it's binding. Rather, so the whole truth is not being told. And
Mhm.
I don't understand what you mean transition through. You don't need to transition. In America here, the planes go to every, just about every darn country. So there's no need to stop off at one place in order to get to the right place. I mean, the it's just a whole bunch of hogwash. And greetings, Donna. Donna says, for people to come together, we first have to unplug out of the matrix. Then only then we will be able to unite. And I really, really, long time, Donna, long time. And I agree with you with that. Sometimes I feel like, and I've said it already, sometimes a lot of these shows, it may go, it gossa but no gossa. You know what I mean? It gossa but go near, but possibly go near so. And that's one of my thoughts, even with a lot of things. This matrix things, maybe we do need to unplug ourselves, and it's just the radicals, I guess, whom will be able to unite because there's so much people so plugged into asses and not being able to think for themselves and just going off of words that leaders are throwing at them and thinking that they're God whom you're not to question. You need to really sit and question, and you really need to read, you know, on what is it. Why would you not show us what is written? Because there's something to hide. When you have nothing to hide, then you are transparent. And if you cannot be transparent, then there's something to hide.
The deal is over. It's been signed and delivered and
Exactly.
agreed upon.
Signs
It's
of it,
over.
and that is it.
And the thing
Okay.
about it, they do like we say to each other over the long period of time, each generation after next generation. Yeah, idiot. So we all take each other for idiots. So government is putting it into action that yes, we don't need to know what they do. We don't need to know nothing that they do, that they're hiding, and so on and so forth, because they consider us idiots. Because Mark Golding, like some people are saying and agree on, he should have never gave in to that election so easily. There was too many red flags. It's stolen off the ballot box and stuff. He should have never gave in so easily. So he also have to take some blame for Olney's behavior.
They're scared. They're scared. They're not a power. They're scared. And when you make decisions
You're right on that.
out of
They're
being
scared.
afraid,
They are.
you sometimes, you all the time, don't make the best decisions. And it's a money grab as well, because
Yeah.
in their scheme of things, what they think is going to happen is, oh, we're going to introduce all these things. This country will develop into this and this and this. Um, and you're
And,
scared.
and the
You're making
police and soldiers
decisions
is on their
scared.
side.
So I agree. Men have been doing this for a while. And I actually seen a post, so it was funny that you said it, Lady D. But men have been doing this for a while, and
Woman a chance.
look where we are.
Give a,
Maybe you should give the crotches a chance. That's all I'm saying.
give a look at this
Well, what else can
right
happen
here.
at that point? What else can happen?
Yeah.
Look where we are when balls are involved. That's all I'm saying.
But look at it this way: in
I
each
love this
cases.
video.
Remember, if I may, in each cases, there's a bimbo on the right hand of the man. So there's just as much bimbos in government as there's dumbasses called man.
And
I am not for either. I am not for
offended.
either one.
I'm
I
offended.
am not for the man or the woman. Both man and woman drop the balls.
I'm a little I know directly it's not me, but sometimes I just feel like why do we have to, as much as they may be wrong, as why do we have to degrade women in those manners, calling them bimbos? When you're talking about, I mean, we don't have to be derogatory.
Lady, I take it back. I
Yeah,
take it back. The same way,
there's
I
a better
take it back.
way to there's a better way to describe
I take it back, and the same way you're correcting and saying what you're saying, how comes you're not mentioning that Jai says balls?
she also said crotches.
Yeah,
Right.
so why you didn't hit on that?
She also said crotches because bimbo is a derogatory form. Your crotches is your vagina. Balls is what is between your legs. So you coming with the bimbo is a derogative comment, the respecter. You know what I'm saying? That's more
Let
derogatory.
it be what it be.
Here goes a very strong woman right
Yeah,
there.
I love her. And there's
And
another
sure
Oh Lord, me too.
can be done. In 1834, the British Parliament did not need to be persuaded of that fact with respect to the loss of property because we were chattel and the compensation of the slave owners of £20 million. I would like to advise that those who have not yet read sufficient to understand the history do so before making comments that really do not reflect well on them. With respect to the movement, this is a global movement now. We just came from Accra in Ghana, and as you know, the United Nations passed the resolution that Ghana brought in March of this year. We have seen Pope Leo make comments in this year of our Lord. We have seen President Macron recognize that the conversation for reparations, just as His Majesty King Charles, when he was Prince Charles at the opening of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda, stated clearly that reparations was a conversation whose time had come. I have no doubt that there are British parliamentarians who want to distract people from the domestic politics of the United Kingdom at this point in time. But the Caribbean should not be used as a prop in those circumstances. Thank you.
That lady right there.
Thank you very much for the question. I'm not sure that you want me to reply to things that really are asinine.
I just love that. I mean, like, she called the state a state. Big up yourself, Jugsy. Jughead, big up yourself. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I just want to say I think we need women to give women a chance. Give women a chance to run this joint. Being on the sidelines of these men is not running the place because you still have to go according to what they're saying. But I think maybe we need to give them a chance, such as this lady here. Speaking of the reparations and the pushback, she directly called these people in their face asinines. I love me some me. I had to drop her in there. I love me so much.
Crockett too. I just love Crockett. She shut them up every time.
I just love her. I just love
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Leader. Noni, you've been real quiet over there. What's going on?
I am tuned in. I was waiting for the Nolan thing, to be honest, because so much been coming up with him, and I'll probably have a lot to say on that one.
All right. Well, we're gonna go into we're gonna definitely go into the Nolan clip that we have here. Um,
Before we do, just really quick to add on to PM Motley, I did read something that Jamaica also plans to move forward to presenting their reparations to the United Kingdom, if I'm saying that right.
yeah.
Not brain fart for a second, but yeah, sorry. But they're planning to move forward with that too, and that's just what I mean by there's so much happening in one time.
Yeah.
For all of that kerfuffle to be going on in Parliament, because of course, and sometimes I wonder if they're doing that to distract. But that we're gonna move on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and complete your.
Lady D, I got a question
Yes, go ahead.
about Jamaica, about the beaches. I know they were speaking out a lot about that, and things were going to court.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard the latest on that? What's happening?
No, I haven't heard anything on that, but as usual, they're dragging their feet and they shouldn't be dragging their feet on it. And those are all the issues I think that needs to be discussed and stop the distraction that's going on in Parliament.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here trying to pull up the Nolan Wells case.
The only reason I wanted to talk more about that, Lady D, was because there's so many other incidents along that, that's been happening as well. Even it's just been a lot, and more of it is coming up with the Nolan case, about racism and how these groups are
We're
targeted,
getting,
it seems like.
we're getting a serious feedback from you.
Okay.
Either we're unable to hear you real clear. I'm unable to hear you real clear.
Okay.
Yeah, now you sound a little better. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just saying so many other incidents are coming up
Hmm.
um, to the forefront since that as well. Nolan,
What incidents has been coming up in regards to
prime example, they were saying some weeks before, some weeks before, there was another young man on a boat. I'm going to look up what state that was in. He couldn't swim at all, but he went on a boat with his white friends. And because he couldn't swim, and I meant to send you that, but somehow um, it got lost in the shuffle. So they said, well, they're going to teach him how to swim. So they put him out in the water at a certain point, the shallow end, gave him a life jacket, too small, and told him to swim back to them. Of course, he wasn't doing that. He said, look, I told you I didn't know how to swim. So there was like, we're going to come and get you, but you need to swim to us. He said, no, I'll be all right. He was like, well, aren't your parents going to be upset? We got to bring you home. He was like, no, I'll be all right. I'm not going to swim over there and drown. So they were saying, they started calling him names. And when he said, well, it's just my mom, my dad is in prison. So one of the white guys was like, I can tell that he's in prison. I can tell just by looking at you that your father is in prison.
Ooh, okay.
So after he said that, there was another white couple with two children on their boat, and they saw him struggling or heard them talking. So they went over there and picked him up and let him hold on to their boat so he could get to safety, and they could hear them making monkey sounds to the boy. So
Mhm.
that's horrible. So again, how do the parents not know? Just as a parent, we have to think of, we've always been in this time, but we have to be extra cautious now. And what if an alligator or anything, or he literally drowned? That would be it for his life. Thank God, that he sent his angels to rescue him, because that would have been another tragedy.
And then the to add on to that, it definitely would have been another tragedy. But the sad part is, like, I guess the people who brought him back as well, they had their kids on the little rafts that they brung him, because that's the situation you're referencing, right,
Yeah.
Noni? They just they were making monkey noises. It's the whole video. They were making monkey noises at him. It was the funniest thing to them. And they didn't say anything to reprimand those kids. Like, that's not cool. And you got your two little kids watching this whole interaction. I don't know. The world is crazy.
So isn't it doesn't it make sense that if the black politicians do the same treatment to the white people when they do such things as the white people do to the black people when they do such things? Look at the Carmela Anthony situation. How comes it's okay, or they're making it okay for white people to do whatever they want to do, and when it's time to defend your own, our lot of people are not doing the same thing. They're throwing a book at the black people,
What okay, so let
but they're
me ask
not
you
throwing a book at the
this.
white people.
Let me ask you this. What would you like to see, and how, and what does that look like? What would you like to see happen, and what exactly does that look like? Not a generalized, like, response. I just want to know, like, in your mind, what does that look like?
Okay, you have those who put themselves in the limelight for us to believe in them. You still have the Al Sharpton, the NAACP, the Black Caucus, all those groups of black people who see that a court allowed all white jury against a black man who were presumed innocent, and they hid all the so-called evidence away from the public. And our Black Caucus and NAACP and all the black law enforcement people did nothing to move in and say as a group and say, no, 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 we're not going to allow this against the law. You're not supposed to have all white jury, all black jury. You're not supposed to. They did nothing. They sat back and stand back and allowed it to happen. So our politicians and law enforcement people, government officials, are dropping the ball where we are concerned. Our children don't have a chance. One comes up missing, dead by the hand of white people, nothing is coming out of it because our black representatives are not defending.
So how who
I
said they
agree.
didn't? They did put out statements, and they did address the situation. Even what's his name? Not Sharpton, the other one. He was on TV, the lawyer one.
Ben Crump.
He was on TV.
Ben
Yeah, he
Crump.
was. You know, they did. I did hear quite a bit of arguments on the TV about that, and the things where they
Queen,
were saying that
something like that's supposed to go to the higher court, the Supreme Court. They
but
could
it's
have
not
taken it.
like that. It's not like that. You don't just
Well,
go to the
jury,
Supreme Court
Queen,
like that.
all white jury, Queen, all
Yeah,
hell
but
should have
you
break
can't just go
loose.
to the Supreme Court
Yes,
first.
you can. That's against the law. Once it's against the law, you can take it to the Supreme Court. That's what lawyers are for.
Yeah, but you can't just go to the Supreme Court like that.
Take
First, you
who?
have to put
They
in
have
a
motives. There is motives, Queen. They're breaking the law. An all-white jury
I
was
get what
never
you're trying
supposed
to
to.
He's
say,
just
Queen. You
saying
can't just go to
there
the
should be
Supreme
more
Court step.
outrage and more should be done about it. Because during the civil rights movement, they were outraged. There were certain things that they did to get their voices heard. They're not doing as much as is what I understand you saying. you know, um, I mean, there are some things done, like Queen said, but there should be more of a outrage and more people standing up and speaking out about it.
you know what
Not
used to
not not
you
just
know
a
what used to you know what used to have an impact on these things? The college students, the student governments, the those
right.
are the people that used to have a large impact on these things being put out there. But I don't
Exactly.
see, lately haven't been seeing how these students are involved in these things, in
No, they partying,
segregation.
Queen. They partying and doing other stuff.
Yeah,
They're
uh,
not. They're not into to that like they used to be. To
that
sit
they
down
used to be.
in the
Yeah,
restaurants and you know making their voices heard. I mean, there are a few, but Queen too. There were a
yeah.
lot more debate teams and
That too. Yes,
they
yes,
don't have
yes,
as much as that. Look, I have nieces, nephews, my son, my daughter. They don't have that in these colleges. Even in the
yeah.
black colleges, they don't even have it. The HBCU, they don't have
Mhm.
that
Mm, mm,
like
mm,
they
mm.
used to. They even
They
used
used
to
to
have
have
it.
Black Student Union, the
Right.
African Caribbean Union. I
Exactly.
mean,
And we will come along. I mean, and like you said, because that's where it would start.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's literally
yeah,
where it would start.
yeah. Because even with Mandela, during Mandela time, we used to have buses, and it's through the student government. We used to get buses to go to Washington. Funds allotted through that. It makes you wonder what's going on with the activity fees. What are they doing with these activity fees? Because that's what those activity fees are supposed to be for. You
Exactly.
know.
Exactly. So I totally agree, Queen. I totally agree.
Mm-mm. I'm just like you say, what's going on? And the thing is that they are getting away with it. It seems like it's undercurrent, but it's happening, and it's happening under cover. So therefore, a lot of people are not really seeing it. But racism has gotten worse. It had seemed like it had quieted down for a while, but now it seems like it's being evolved again, where it is not hidden anymore. You can see it blatantly now.
I agree. And Queenie, you was talking about the unity.
Mm.
That's what I was saying. Like, especially the debate teams, and like you said, the young people,
Yeah.
in colleges. Even
Hmm.
a lot of especially during the civil rights times, there were groups formed
Yes.
to eradicate slavery and the segregation.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it should have been more of a, I mean, we just should learn from that, learn from our history. What?
Yeah.
Even the
Well,
UNI, the UNI, they've been complaining, they've been saying that enrollment is down, people don't care about no more. You remember we went to that meeting, lady and the respecter, and that some of the things they were talking about, how people are not supporting those organizations anymore.
comes down once again, Queen, back to, and I apologize, I had to move away for a second. And if I miss some things, then you all could direct me back. But it comes back once again to unity. We are
Mhm.
not unified like how we are supposed to be. Bless up to you, Mackie Conscience. That's bless up to you. Juliet says most of the time you have to have a petition to get to the Supreme Court, and it have to be
Mhm.
powerful enough to get their attention. Attorney Ben Crump also is now has been retained by the if we're as I think I assume we're still on the Nolan Wells case. The he has also now been retained,
That's who I was talking about, Crump. Yeah, yeah, the
and
lawyer. Mhm.
he is now brought out. It says 2 hours ago that there were messages that were found on Nolan Wells' phones, and says there are texts that has been deleted, and there are so many inconsistency in the case. Also, it's alleged or revealed that one of the young white man parents are is a judge, so that also brings you to having connections in higher places. um, and Ben Crump has also said he is just really really troubled, and that there's a lot of serious questions in regards to the body has been found and has been identified. It's alleged by the mom in the news that's going on. So we have so much that's going on, unanswered questions in regards to the disappearance, well, to the murder, or to some of them is trying to say, I guess, suicide at one point, and all of these things that is taking place with the Nolan Wells case. We're definitely going to have to follow and see what the outcomes are. But it raises a huge question, how that it's one way into this island and one way out, and it's by boat, and five individual can go into an island, and four come out, and they just have no explanation as to what happened to that that other individuals. So I'm hoping with Crump being on it, and it's not just a show thing, but he really go into it and try to get us some answers as to what happened to the unaliving of this young man.
Mm, mm, mm.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Another young man on top of it that I'm not sure if we have been discussing. And I'm just so sad for our black males, for just melanated skin people all together on and what is going on, that we get no justification, even as the respecter said. Um, they are being murdered there, and time after time after time there's just um nothing being done. They're not getting any justice whatsoever. They're not being given any form of justice. Here we go with another individual that this happened a couple of days ago as well as this, and it's shocking to see that it's a white lady that is speaking on it. But here we go.
Electric forest. This is a very weird situation, and no one's talking about it. So he was there for 4 days. It's a 4 day. If you're new, it's a big rave. It's a huge festival. Lots of drugs, lots of people, a lot of people, right? So he was there the whole weekend. Monday comes around, the festival's over. He's camping up, ready to leave. So reports are that he contacted the police at the festival and brought them over to this camp and was saying that there was some issue going on with his friends and that he needed the police for. This happened on Monday, the day that he was lost, the day that he was found hanging from a tree. So the cops come over to his camp, investigate. They say nothing's going on. The cops leave. So then he packs up his camp, he packs up his things, and that's the last people see him. The last people see from him is Monday at 10 a.m. He packed up his stuff and he, after the interaction with the cops and his friends, and then he left. They're of course ruling it a suicide, but I don't know about you, but I've never heard of a black person who voluntarily hangs himself from a tree. That's not where black people kill themselves. His friends are all talking about how it's suicide. It seems incredibly, incredibly suspicious. And no one's talking about what happened to him. They're talking about the baby found in the porta potties, but they're not talking about a black man found hanging from a tree outside of a huge music festival. Can we talk about this, please? Gerard deserves justice, and his death should not be quiet and secretive. What happened to him? People know what happened to this man.
And that's just, I guess, basically the scenario over and over and over and over and over again, is that
Yeah.
there continues to absolutely be no answers for anything that is going on with our
No, I
black
mean,
in this.
this one I see 2 hours ago. Al Sharpton he joined the Nolan Wells family, and they're gonna be speaking live on Fox 5.
Juliet says, Noni, I noticed that most of the topics today have you very upset. I've never seen you this upset before. I love this panel and the important topics that you're not scared to talk about. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. We definitely try
Mhm.
to go into on well, touch the areas and just give our opinion, because it's all about reasoning. We're reasoning on
Mhm.
topics and giving our opinion, as well as listening to our listening audience and their opinions on what is going on. Just want to give a big shout before we continue to You Choose Radio. Blessings to you, DJ VJ Smiles, Ross Dougal, um, uh, and all of the listeners over there whom is locked in and tuned in. I also want to say big shouts to the Victorious 89.1 FM family and crew over there as well, that has it locked in and vibesing with us as well. Over there at You Choose Radio, go on and check out on in the mornings time. You have DJ Phil in the mornings. They got the DJ Twin Spin at nights. Hype Man, just go over there and see what they got. King of Hype going on. They got a lot of hyping going on over there. So I want to say big shouts. And this Tuesday, DJ VJ Smiles is having a summit over there, having a show over there at CLTV, and he's inviting each and everyone to come on out and support as well. So pick up yourself, Smile. That's on Tuesday, and we want to send big shouts to all of our sponsors. One to One by One Kia, Hinkson Firm, Unique Total Care, Botastic, Awesome Renovation, Advanced Restoration. Uh, yeah, we want to say big shouts to each and everyone, and I'll get back to the rest of them. And we just thank each and everyone for continuing to vibes with us each and every Thursday. I also want to invite you to the programmings right here on the Powerhouse Radio as you're doing right now, vibesing with Reasoning Thursdays, each and every Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Make sure, just tell a friend and a friend to join us. All righty. And also Saturdays, it's the Lady D show. Make sure that you tune into the Lady D show on a Saturday. And what is this? Saturdays, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. I'm going to be ending Saturday a little bit earlier because Sunday is my Earth Strong. So I'm going to be ending the show a little bit early Saturday. So tune in 12 anyway to 4 for the Lady D show. Also, Sunday nights, it is all about love, nothing but love, each and every Sunday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. with Blossom, Cool G, and yours truly, Lady D. Um, so you could tune into that as well. And on Wednesdays, it's all about Let's Gripe with Tonya and McKenna and Dr. Ross. So you could check them out on Wednesdays from 7 to 8 p.m. Those are some of the programmings. So we want to thank each and everyone once again. So let's dive back into our reasoning.
I'm surprised there's no party.
Where's the party at?
No party. No party. I keep being asked for party, but for some reason I feel like just being quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like
Keep us posted if anything changes.
I'm just being quiet. This Earth Strong. I'm just gonna be quiet.
That's okay too, Lady D.
Yeah, yeah. Every year I do something. I think this year I just want to be quiet and meditate, and thank God for just another year. You
Well,
know.
just get ready for mine next month. That's what you'll do.
Okay, yeah, I'll just wait on. I just wait like it's hot, to drop it like it's hot. But yeah, yeah. So what else is on you ladies and gent minds?
Well, Lady D, I do want to know um, about that case with Nolan. It's different things, and nobody's blaming parents, or anything like that. But what's your take on it as far as, or anyone here on the panel? Um, I guess me being a parent, um, extra precautions, should be taken, especially because we know what time we're in. Um, you know, some of the responsibility, because they're still young. They're still young, and I hear a lot of parents speaking out that they watch their kids. They watch who they're with, who they're talking to, the group they're around. And I'm the same way. I am the same way. I mean, my oldest ones, of course, not, but anywhere between that 18, they're still in college. They're still kind of learning themselves. They really don't know, the pitfalls, dangers, and just different things. Number one, because of what you've experienced, but what we totally know about racism. Like my 20-year-old is just now seeing more of what the face of racism looks like. So some of the stuff I don't have to tell him, but he's well aware and he understands it. And I'm happy about that because, you know, now he knows that you really can't let your guard down. You really have to be watchful, know your surroundings, and be careful about who you're hanging with. That is
And
something.
that's one of the things I was wondering about when that young man, the one that was swimming, and they wanted him to swim. What all four of those other guys, were they Caucasian, or were there another black in the midst, or I saw, I was kind of reading, but I didn't see, it didn't specify those individuals. Because I'm saying, why would he go with these people, and like Noni is saying, you have to be mindful of who you're around. And if you're going to be the only black individual, now is not the time, no matter how much you know that individual, because these kids are doing prank, they're committing prank. Not just that, but there's a lot of folks out there taking kids. Look at the girl running down 75, right? Said they trying to kidnap her a couple of weeks back. I mean, these things are going on, and we have to prepare our children for this, not just the boys, but the girls also, because they are kidnapping these young ladies and taking them overseas. And they have to be mindful of this. I see how even some of my nieces and what have you dresses, you have to be mindful and you have to be careful what you present when you go out there, because you don't know who is who and what you're gonna face.
Yeah,
as a
because
parent,
my son that was going on a trip, the first thing I said is they're going to be chaperones. I mean, and he was in high school,
Hmm.
and I'm like, I mean, if I have to go and be a chaperone, I'm coming. You going on, was it Jekyll Isle or whatever they was going to, and I know there's certain administrators that's going to be there, but everybody can't be there at one place at the same time. So, I think they were less, a couple of them, so some other people signed up, but I
Just,
was definitely going to sign up if there wasn't going to be enough chaperones. Of
I just
course.
I feel like that we just have to be very transparent to our children
Hmm.
in what the world may or may not offer, you know and we just we raise our children, and we raise and I'm hoping that when we are raising our children, we raising our children with knowledge of what life is, what life was, and how life is going to be. Because I'm not going to be there all the time to watch every step that my child makes and everything that he does. My two of my sons, well, all three of my sons went to college in basically Caucasian white schools. You know, two of my children were in the midst of, in Ohio, um, in the in the midst of just an all white college, and I instilled and I like make sure I told them, know your surroundings, don't drink and get drunk and don't know what you're doing. Um, always call and let me know when you're where you're going, whom you're going with. Those times we didn't have cell phone trackers and all of these things. But I trust myself that I instilled enough into my children about racism, about life, about knowing yourself, knowing thyself, and they have good friends that are Caucasian even to this day. So to me, sometimes is when when people show you who they are, just believe it, you know.
Hmm.
And I think that um, when we instill in our children to follow their gut, follow their intuition, then I think they can make d- good decisions. Um, I'm quite sure that this young man felt in certain ways that the company that he was keeping was not the right company. As I think Jai had said, they were doing chants, different racial chants and things like that. When when they're showing you who they are, then take them for what they are. And you shouldn't go into any island on any boat with anyone. And in this time and age, there's trackers. How did they get your phone? What would even possess you to go with four white guys on a boat? And I'm not doing blame. I'm just saying that we just need to know, and we need to instill in our kids, don't put yourself in positions such as that, going with four white guys all by yourself.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
close were you all? What type of
Yeah.
relationships did you have that you felt safe to do this, to go by yourself? I mean, how did you do? I mean, there is so many questions into what happened and what took place with this young man. And we just don't know, Noni, like you asking, how do we prepare I just don't know, more than being blatantly honest, that listen, you're a black man, and racism is real, racism is there, and don't put yourself in any peculiar um, situation that the possibility of the outcome may just not be great.
What you're saying, lady, is absolutely how I've been sitting here meditating on high school, being the only black on the team, the soccer team, and how much they showed me love when we go away for away games. They each will tell me, Blake, you're gonna hear some names, just ignore the names and just play. We got your back. I lied to you or not. And throughout the season ended, and there was indoor soccer started, and I went and joined without even any thought of anything happening to me. I would just end up being the only black guy at each event. And as I look back to those years, those were some good white teammates, good white people I know. So anything could have happened to me, and my mom probably wouldn't know why. So I guess I gotta count my blessings.
Most definitely, most definitely. Juliet says, we as parents like to shield our children from the negative that inhabit this world. Parents are now teaching their children about racist people and communities, and about the evils that plague us all. Yeah, we can't wait for racist things to happen in order to and then to act. My daughter, and I'm so proud of her with her daughter, um, because her daughter basically goes to an all white school. And there was a little girl, for a situation that happened, there was a little girl that tried to talk down on her, and get an attitude. And the girl said something with black in it. And my grandbaby totally shut her down. And when she came back to try to talk to her to be, she says, "Oh no, I don't deal with people who who talk racist stuff and try. You cannot be my friend." And
Oh,
what
good.
you said to me. And when I went and I picked her up, she was telling me the whole story. And she was like, "Oh no, grandma." I kept her like, I was like, talk to the hand. And
Aye.
I just kept doing what I'm doing. And it was like maybe 2, 3 months later, she said, "Oh, she came, grandma, she came and apologized and said that she did not mean to be racist and she is so sorry." She said, "Yeah, I would say hi and thing, but no, we're not like that anymore." So I feel that it starts from these children are young, where you let them know whom they are, what they will tolerate. And when
Mhm.
they're in a situation where they feel that they are being talked down to, or remove themselves from that crowd and don't go back there. Don't let that person back in your circle, in to be able to talk back down to you. And I feel that maybe this young man, with some of the chatter that they were saying, that's alleged, that was being done on a tape, racist remarks and things like that. Um, I'm just hoping sometime our youths are not trying to just fit in, and to be a part of, you know, God rest his soul. And I'm hoping that something really, really, really comes out of this. I'm hoping that the family definitely gets some form of closure as to the murder, on the living or accident, whatever they want to call it, because at one point they're saying it's an accident that this young man faced Nolan Wells. Call his name. Nolan Wells. Call his name. So I'm just praying that Attorney Crump and whomever else that is working on the case, as Queen said, Al Sharpton has jumped on.
Yeah, you joined. Yeah, two
Um,
hours ago you joined me.
so, and I want to see some other prominent attorneys and people because, you know, um, we need this. We need this one solved, and we need some type of justice
Hey,
to
they
come.
don't need to move and stop thinking about the money. They need to just show up and support and don't think about being paid.
Yeah, come on.
So,
And
and
we
just
we
a
can
correction,
Go ahead, Jai.
I was gonna let the respect to finish his thought.
Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
just quickly. I'm just saying that just all of us will just agree that those individuals confess. We hope and pray that God put it in their spirit and let them confess.
They're not gonna do that. One of them boys' moms is a judge. And I just wanted to correct when I mentioned the monkey noises, that was in reference to the boy that had to hold on to the paddle boat when they left him in the water with the too small
Oh,
life.
okay.
But I also feel like because I'm a, as y'all know, I'm a mom as well. I'm a single mom. But one thing that I just feel like that we have to make sure we're doing as well, like y'all said, be honest with your kids. Of course, keep it age appropriate, but be honest with your kids. But also make sure you're reinforcing who they are, understanding how powerful they are, how beautiful they are, how you're a human as well. Um, I feel like that's important for kids, especially in this time and growing up. And when I grew up constantly hearing how beautiful you are, things, but then you go to school and people are very demeaning. And I feel like that confidence piece starts at home. And that's the kind of parent I am. I make sure she knows who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the morning before school, I'll ask her, who are you? And she tells me who she is. And she's very proud of who she is. Be proud of your curly hair, be proud of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let anybody demean that. So kudos to your granddaughter, because I agree. Don't let anybody
Kudos.
demean that. And if they do, they're not for you. And I feel like that's another thing we have to teach our kids lessons on what friendship look like, and what it should never make you feel small. And like Queen said, in regards to some kids maybe just accepting certain things because they want a friend group, it
Yeah.
goes back to you being very comfortable in who you are and not allowing, because I'm not saying all white people are bad, but there's
Mm-hmm.
definitely some that take advantage, especially when you're not fully comfortable in who you are in that setting.
Yeah.
And I want my kid to understand, my daughter at least, I don't care who you're around, where you go. You could be in the middle of Italy. You are one of the greatest creations that ever hit this earth. You're here for a reason. And don't let nobody ever tell you otherwise, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just sad to see. And maybe he did really trust them. I've seen plenty of pictures with
Maybe.
Nolan and them. Um, and again, it's just sad to it's and they play this game how they do it every time. They have very prominent parents. I'm talking about doctors, judges, lawyers, you know? Um, yeah, I don't know. It's sad. It's
And
But
it's
you know, I've
sad,
never
but
seen a group of people.
these are the children that get away with these things, and they feel they can do it because they get away with it because their parents are prominent, in these societies, and I don't think that is right or it is fair, and they need to be accountable for their children. I remember one time the school system, they were charging parents for some of the misbehavior and things that the children were doing. They need to start doing that with those parents also.
Yeah.
Your child, not because you're a judge or whatever, means your child can do whatever he feels like doing and be overlooked. You know, um, those things need to be more enforced.
I feel like
Where
we're gonna always, we're forever gonna be the most hated batch of individuals on, and I don't want to say that'll never change, but it's racism is taught, and it's still a
yeah,
lot of teaching going on. I'm
yeah,
proud of the ones who get out of the matrix, and see that there's more to life. But there are still some who never want to leave their small town, don't know nothing else, can't see nothing else, and they are stuck in their ways, and that's how they raise their kids, and it turns to a generational thing. And another thing that I always teach my kid is you can only be in control of yourself.
yeah,
You can't
yeah,
control what's gonna come out of somebody's mouth, what they're gonna do, where the sit. You get what I'm. All you can do is
yeah.
control how you respond, what you're gonna do next, and that's what I try to teach her: how you need to respond in certain situations. Forget what they're feeling, because my kid is so sweet. She cares about everybody. She doesn't want to hurt your feelings, even after you hurt her feelings. And that's why that's important for me to teach her, is because I want her to understand you can't take on other people's problems. You can only control how you respond to it, you know? Um,
Kudos to you, Jai. You're doing an awesome job from what you're saying and what I know of. You're doing an awesome job. I wish all parents, young parents, would do some of the things you're doing, and I hope that they are tuning in and listening to what you're saying in your age group. Because you're younger, and those are the issues that we're having with parents in your age group, or a little bit younger or a little bit older than you are. They are raising these children, and they're raising them. These children are raising themselves. The
yeah,
parents are not taking time out to spend time, quality time. That word quality, you can spend time, but it's the quality time that counts. And those are the ones that the children remember when they go out there.
yeah. And then
But you
the
know what
work.
touched me the most, Lady D, about the one who was, who didn't know how to swim, is that he felt so unprotected. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
felt
That's
so
why I mentioned the
unprotected.
people not saying anything pissed me off, because that
Right.
exact reason right there.
Yeah. Right there.
Mhm.
Sharon said
Mhm.
it has been too much accidents. And then she also said, let's call it what it is. They get away with this behavior because of their color. That's exactly it.
That's it. And also money. Money, also clout. You know, um, um, society, how high you are up in society. All of those things
Bring
contributed to the downfall of what's going on now with these kids and doing whatever they want to do, hurting other individual with no consequences. Because I'm quite sure it's nothing is gonna come of it. I hope something do, but at the rate it's going, it seems like nothing is gonna come of it. They're gonna say, "Oh, he hang himself because it was an accident. He hang himself. It was an accident. He hung himself, or he tried to commit suicide." And this one here now, what they gonna say? The one almost drowned. I
And
mean,
what
She
about
word off.
the girl that they said, fell off the balcony? They're still not even that's
okay, okay,
or the
okay.
gentleman who was found in the park in Atlanta all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like Miss Sharon said, is too much accidents.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
too many accidents, and they're always finding ways to justify their lingua of accidents.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
just
definitely,
like during the civil rights times. It's full of hate.
yeah.
It's a lot of hate.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed like that's coming back. Racism, all of that, at full force. Remember at one time it seemed like it was quiet down, even though we
Yeah.
knew it was happening,
What
undercover, but it wasn't blatant like now. Now it's blatant again, you know?
let's make America great again.
Right.
Um, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm like
So so Lady D, you're saying the energy has been put out there.
the energy is out there. Let's make America
Mm,
great again. So again,
that's true.
that was
And yeah, it's
it,
coming from immigration all the way down.
all
Yeah.
of that is coming. All of that, the blackness, the in your face kind of thing. I was watching a clip with one black girl in on a train with all of these KKK
Okay.
folks, and she was petrified. But I mean, they're coming out, and what we need to do is to be totally transparent to our children, to
Mhm,
ourselves, to
mhm,
each other when as to what life is. Black history, all of those things are being erased from school. I mean, I challenge parents, take an hour, take half an hour, and go over Black history with your children. Let them know about Black happenings, where they come from, slavery, the whole 9 yards of it. We need to educate our children on what life is, and what life was, and what life can be. So I charge all of the parents to stand up and do what they need to do. Sharon says, what about the young man that they found rolled up in the carpet? Make it make
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I
Sharon,
remember that one.
makes sense, right? I think it was somewhere South Georgia somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Mm-hmm.
they're still going to say he fell in the carpet
Carpet.
and suffocated. I mean, make it make sense. And we have to understand that they're not going to make it make sense. They're not.
And can you imagine now all of these cases that we have in the past and nothing have come of them? You haven't heard anything much about. You haven't heard anything more about it. You know, like it might circulate for that month, and then after or 2 months after that, you don't hear anything else about it. Because even the case with the carpet, with the young man in the carpet, you don't hear anything. Where was it settled behind closed door?
Oh yeah, it was close. That they definitely, and we talked about it on this program.
Yeah, I remember we did.
And the findings is that it was a suicide, an
I
accident.
thought that's what they were saying.
So I mean, everything
Mm,
is either suicide or accident.
mhm.
We just got to get used to it. We just have to talk to our children. One person don't go nowhere. Two of you go. Three of you
Yeah,
go. But
yeah.
don't go by yourselves. Don't put yourselves in the position. Okay, don't put yourselves in the position to possibly be unalive by a group of persons that don't wish you well. Okay,
Mhm.
go with your intuition, people. If you feel like then take that and don't go. It's better you second guess and you leave and you regret it later than going and something really go happens and you regret it then. You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
it's it's crazy. It's
I'll say for the small group of black parents, most cases it's just the mother. I would try and slowly change our mindset from believing that living in a diverse community or white community is better than being with your people. And there are a lot of mainly mothers who's thinking that their sons or their daughter is safer around white people. And that's going on still today.
Mhm.
I grew up in that where even when I came to Georgia, my in-laws wanted to be in the Roswell area. And I was like, that's you. I know better. That's where I'm at. Because so now all it takes is one mistake. Me just moving to a community with my boy, my daughter, and Billy's bike is missing. Oh, it's because of me and my family. And here comes the crime and violence. But most parents don't look at it that way. They just want to be, you know, feeling like they're rich. Because that's what it's all about. Status.
Status
Being
and
around the white
acceptance.
folks, small, you look like you got it going on.
Yeah. 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 The Miss Juliet says that Juliet says it never left. They were just undercover.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Just giving them the right to come out of hiding. We don't have to go back in time to see the differences in the treatment of minorities and white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yep.
it's in our faces, so we just need to and that's makes we could complain about Noni. We can complain about all that we want to complain. The bottom line is, I think we have to come with some solutions. And until we come with solutions, we'll always continue to repeat the same thing. And one of the solutions that I feel, and I will repeat it once again, is transparency to our children. Let them know what life was like, what life is, and what life can be, especially with the atmosphere that we're in right now. And and the blatantness of what is going on right now, and letting them know that if you're not comfortable, don't stay around there. Don't go, don't put yourself in a situation where you're the only one that is in the midst of a group of black person white persons. And I'm sorry if some listeners whom are Caucasian may feel offended in any form of way, because we do have listeners in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
Spain, all these areas. So no one is trying to offend anyone, but is the truth, and we got to
Yeah.
call a spade a spade. We definitely have
Yeah,
It's
there's
even
the,
parents as well. I feel like parents make yourself available. I don't care. I'm one of those parents where I don't care if my daughter snuck out 2 o'clock in the morning to go hang out and she's uncomfortable. I'm trying to instill in my kid from now. I don't care what it is. You call my phone
yeah.
and you tell
That's
me to
it.
come get you.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I don't
Johnny.
care. You don't be afraid. I don't care what you did, where you at. You could have left my house 2 o'clock in the morning and I didn't know. You call my phone to get you home.
That,
Exactly.
Yeah.
there
that's
was this young lady online that shows a good defense for young ladies. You say your fingernails. She shaped her fingernails
Aaron.
like a knife. And she demonstrates how you can help yourself in defending yourself. If somebody grab your hand, or you can use your fingernail to poke a hole in their hand or their face
mm-hmm.
enough for them to
No
let you
matter
go.
say, juke out them eye.
We do have
Yeah.
a caller. We do have a caller. Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, you're live on the air.
What about we're even talking? Listen, we have to come to reality that they don't like us. They don't want us to be around them,
That's
but
it.
they cannot help themselves because when we're successful and when we're doing what we have to do and we're achieving things, they don't like it either. What
Mm-mm.
about the young lady that was going to school and her roommate? She was in college, and her roommate put used her toothbrush and did all kinds of stuff with the toothbrush
Yeah.
and got
Mm-hmm.
her sick. You
Yeah.
know, it's not just now, but it wasn't as as loud.
Yes.
You
As now, like I said, it's coming out. They're coming out. Yeah.
because of
And
the
we have to
atmosphere.
understand that it's not, it's the environment. It's who
Mhm.
we have leading us
Yeah.
that is putting these things out, making these people doing what they're doing. But it's almost a good thing because at least we know who they are. We
Mhm.
know who they are. They just don't smile in our faces and and we go on, and
Yeah.
they just, now we know who they are. They're
Yeah.
saying what they feel.
That's it.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's exactly it, caller. They have to. We have to. Once again, we have to instill in our children and let them understand what it is. My brother always say, "It is what it is." We
Mhm.
have to let our children know what it is, and even some of these older ones, we still have to remind them that this is
Mhm.
the situation. Don't go sit up getting intoxicated and act like they're your best friends, And I mean, you once again, you have some awesome Caucasian persons that are in your corner
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
defend you and talk up for you. But you have God gave us all an intuition, a feeling. When I'm not to do something, I feel it. And sometimes we
Mhm.
all go against that feeling. So I
Yeah.
feel we need to teach ourselves to tap into that.
I
And
was I was just gonna say that. Teach our kids awareness. You know when something isn't right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
when it's
If
not.
you don't feel right about it, don't do. Yeah. Mhm.
Go ahead, caller.
What I
Second
realize
guess.
that slavery has been so long ago, and we have we've come together, we have done a lot of things, but however, a child live what they learn. The parents, they don't let it go. They didn't let it go because they teach their kids to hate.
Yeah,
In black folks' homes, we don't teach that to our children. We have empathy. We know how to feel for someone that's in pain. They don't. They put on a front.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
very sorry to say it, and I'm sorry. There is good people out there, but as far as I see, there's something going on that they're jealous of us.
yeah.
What do we have that they're so you know they don't want to come together with us? No.
You have to question that. You have to
Because
ask.
we're brilliant people, and anything we put our hands on, it's successful.
You should
Yeah,
ask
I
it.
know, but you know how it is.
You know,
Yeah.
just look at the looks, look at the shape, look at know, there. I mean, it's just unquestionable. What they have, what they are jealous of. Noni, you're muted. Go ahead.
I was watching the TV the other day. I think it was yesterday, and I was saying in England how it's hot. You know what I mean? It's hot, extremely hot in England, and everybody's complaining and crying. But then we as black folks, we could deal with that. You see what I'm saying? So they got
Yeah,
to understand our melanin is a good thing. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
They have
That's
to
why they're
love us.
jealous. That's why they are jealous.
Mhm.
We know that we are the original and queens and the kings, and they know it too, and they just so it's a lot to be jealous of.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why we need to instill in our children how great we are, and for them to know thyself and to tap into their God-given intuition and don't put themselves don't try to fit in. Just be,
Right.
just be, just be. Once again, I send out my
Mm.
prayers to
Yes.
the families that are
Yeah.
going through all of these non-closures
Mhm.
because I can't fathom and I don't want to ever fathom what they are going through um of having no form of closure you know
Yeah.
in these situations when your child, what they would do, what they wouldn't do, and what within your gut, in your heart of heart, you know what happened to them, and no one will listen. No form of justice. That alone is just the hardest thing. And I pray for these families. I just pray for comfort, because
Yes.
healing is going to be hard when you don't have a closure. So just comfort throughout this entire ordeal, praying for the Wells family, praying for the Jackson family and all the other families whom are going through this. But know where your children are, have an idea. I'm not saying keep a leash on them, because they have to grow and they have to become independent adults. But do know where they are, meaning that, okay, we know they went on a trip, they went with this, and I just don't even know what to say, especially in this Wells case.
And Lady D, and teaching them, good judgment. I thought about the little boy who couldn't swim. Like
Mm.
when my children couldn't swim,
Yeah.
I was on it. But just to know that, you let him go with a group of people and he didn't know how to swim. So I'm
Mhm.
saying we are our
Yeah, that's
children's
true. That's
protectors.
true. Yeah.
We're their protectors, and especially at that age.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his father is definitely not there. So he's already at a deficit, not having, the male, to speak into his life. But I'm just saying, even as, a single, parent mother,
Yeah.
we got to protect them.
That's
We
Yeah.
got to.
man. The
And I
time.
must say,
Go ahead.
big up Jai because he makes so much sense. You understand? You have to
Yeah.
teach your children
Yep.
who they are.
Who they
They
are.
don't have to be with a a white person to feel better in themselves.
That's
You
right.
understand?
That's
Um,
right.
they're no better than us. You teach your child they're no better than us.
That's it.
We have
Yeah.
to get down to the
And
right.
you can accomplish the same thing they can accomplish. You can accomplish it with work also. You just have to work at it.
Man.
We have to let them know that they're great.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
Christ says.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. It's the truth, and that's why you gotta. I figured you start from young, and I'll see what the result look like when she becomes an adult. But I just think those things are important for the real world, and
Yeah.
that's what us as parents are here for: is to
Yeah.
prepare them, and help guide them through that journey.
Hmm.
So that's why I push it heavy. Who are you? And you know who you are every time.
Hmm. Yeah.
Know what you accept and won't accept.
Kudos. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Man, listen, folks, it is over the time. We
Hmm.
have to wrap it up. And I think this is a very important.
Interesting. Yes, it is. It is
Maybe
very much.
we could start out with this next week again. So where we can reason. And next week we will have the big deal Lysandra on with us, and talking and reasoning in regards to trust, for you all to get the trust for your families and for your homes, and so on. Juliet says, I know you're getting ready to go off the air. I want to thank the reasoning panel for a powerful and exciting forum. See you next week. And remember, you can rewatch this episode and others on YouTube. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Juliet.
I when Juliet listens, because she always reminds our listeners that you can always go back to YouTube and watch the show from the beginning, if you missed anything, and watch the entire program. And we also invite you to go to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and get notified when all the talk programmings are on. Big shout once again to YouTube's radio. Blessings to you. Thank you for carrying us, and to all of your fantabulous listeners. We want to say big, massive shouts go out to you all. To Victorious 89.1 FM, want to say blessings to you. Thank you as well, for continuing to carry our program as well. Big shouts to all of the programming on YouTube's radio. To VJ, DJ VJ Smiles. He's having a show coming up on Tuesday. I'm not finding it, Smiles, but it's going to be Tuesday at CLTV Studio, and that's in the Stone Mountain area off of North Harrison Road. So you all go on out. I think there's a couple of guests, Nigel Don and a couple of other guests that's supposed to be on the show. So check that out as well. So folks, you all want to say a River Dolce to the listeners. MC, we missed you today. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, we missed you today, MC. So the respect, you want to say a River Dolce?
I want to say to all the mothers, keep doing the great jobs y'all doing. And may God continue to protect your children and you.
Amen
Mm.
on that. Amen on that. Jai, Jai. Oh, Jai got cut off for some reason. Noni.
Ooh, what a great reasoning tonight.
Yeah.
What a great reasoning tonight. I mean, we definitely need to talk about this, but because it's definitely, all over social media, the outspokenness about this subject, because it touches so many areas between us, like you said, Lady D, being transparent, the reality of things. Things did get quiet, but they're definitely blatant in front of our faces now. So should continue this. So thank you, Lady D, for bringing this up tonight, because it was definitely needed. Thank everybody who listened, can continue to listen, and we'll reason again next Thursday. Good night.
Good night, Queen.
Yes, like Noni said, again, lady, this is a good topic. It's something that we have been touching over the years, and I think that we should always continue to touch on it, especially the children, and being safe, in this time. Remember, parents, talk to your girls too, not just the men, but also the girls, because they are taking them, they're kidnapping them one after the other. Okay, so please, I love you guys. Remember, tune in, share with your friends, neighbors, co-worker, everyone you can, and press that like button. You have a blessed one. Arrivederci.
Blessings upon blessings. The River Dolce, you all. Good night. Thanks a lot for listening, and then thanks for the support. You can listen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to some great music right here on the Powerhouse Radio. Share, and tell a friend and a friend and a family member that we are here. Love you all. Mwah.
Good
Love
night.
you. Good night.
Good
Love
night.
Bye.
you all. Good night. Good night, panel.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night, Lady D. Good night, Queenie. Good night.
Ooh, yeah. Ah,
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, ranking the